Okay, welcome one and all to today's Spearhead Records Live with me, BCee. 6th of June, the weeks are flying by. Had a few teething troubles at the start there. I think it seemed to be freezing. I think we're all good now. I can see like 4 of me on my own screen, which is pretty disconcerting. And they're all got slightly different syncs. So when I move my hand, I see it like here and then here, a minute later and here. Anyway, I think we're good. If you are listening on my own personal Steve BCee, on my Steve Boise Jeffroy Facebook page, I can't see your messages come up. If you're listening anywhere else, I can. So we can get interactive as usual. I've got some brand new stuff for you today, some old classics today. You know the format by now. So big up. Hello everyone, good to see loads and loads of regulars checking in. Mark, we were meant to do breakfast this morning. Would have been alright now outside. But it was raining too hard. Not good. So yeah, big up Joshua Sands, Rob Bonney, Benjamin Bassine. Sorry if I say some of these names right. Jimmy, Arthur, Avi, Richard, Johnny. Flipping heck, they're going too fast on my screen. Aidan, Dan, Christopher, Stuart, Mr. Airshots Online, Heath Patterson. Big up Heath. Wicked. Okay, so this one then, oh yeah, Phil the Pheasant. You saw or heard about Phil the Pheasant last week. He didn't make it, unfortunately. He passed away last Saturday night. But we did rescue a baby duck this week. We go over to my maybe I put it on Facebook. I think on my Facebook page. You'll see Duck Watch Season 2. It was a quick season. So this track just played then. It's called Firefighting. It was taken from my Shouting About Nothing album. It features an uncredited Rocky Enty on vocals. Uncredited because he was doing some... He'd signed to Virgin for a bit. I think he still is. The vocal was actually originally made for the track by me and Spy called Stardust. Spy didn't like the vocal. A couple of years went past. I wrote a track for the vocal. And that is how Firefighting came about. Wicked. Right, we are in session. Going to go for a classic now. This is Contradictions, Alex Perez on Shogun. About just been like the 10th year anniversary of this. And it still sounds amazing. The live stream on the BCee page just seemed to end just then and come back. So if you're watching there, give me a shout. Hopefully you can still see me. I am using restream.io now, which seems a lot more stable. So today we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on 3 Facebook channels. So hopefully something's still working. But if you're listening on the BCee Facebook page, then give us a shout so I know you're there. And hopefully we're working again. Okay, we seem to be all good. Thank you, man. Well, it's been an interesting week, hasn't it? And now we've got rain. I'm not going to get too political on here today, but we've got to mention it at some point. So it might as well be now, right at the start, I guess. In the middle of contradictions, we'll just let this drop. So I don't want to make the podcast too political, but you know what? It's not just when it comes to the Black Lives Matter thing. It seems weird calling it a thing. It seems a bit insulting, to be honest. So when it comes to Black Lives Matter, we've got to talk about it. It's not politics, it's real life. You've all seen the news out there. A lot of people posting this all lives matter thing. Do you know what? I hate to admit this, but I was the idiot. Look, I never posted it online, but kind of felt like that once. If you feel like that, all lives matter, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. Educate yourself. Have a little look at something. If you look on my Facebook page, my wife Andy actually put together a big kind of document about people, you know, because we all want to go like, what do we do about it? So she's put an absolutely extensive list on there of things that you can start to do as a white middle class privileged person like me, or whatever you are. But yeah, we need, you know, there's no room for it, man. There's absolutely no room for it. So I wanted to address that at the start of the show today. And you know, all this music, pretty much everything I'll play today, if not everything, comes from black culture. So we can't really ignore that. And Trump yesterday, what a tit. But he probably owns some kind of Facebook scanning software. So, I mean, you all know. However, I mean, you know, this isn't about, somebody just put, I take it you're a lefty. This is not about being left or right. This is about being a freaking human. Anyway, I'm not discussing it anymore. We'll let the tunes roll out. So, from that one, old Alex Perez is going to play you something brand new. This is by me and Dave Ember. Dave from Dexcel working on his own. Dexcel are still alive and kicking, but, you know, lockdown has caused him to create some brand new tunes, and we just fired some stuff back and forth. This one's called Dreamers. It features Lita on vocals. Some people last week kept saying to me, can I play some jungle? Well, I mean, you know, I kept saying, like, it just is what it is. If you want something a little heavier, this will be out later in the year as a series of releases from Ember. Couple featuring me as well. Check this. This is Dreamers.
We'll take the dark and make it brighter. Turn all the gray to technicolor. As we see a future that is full of light.
Okay, there is no track list for this. Not yet anyway, because I don't know what I'm going to play yet. I've stuck 100 tunes on a USB stick for today, and we'll see what we get through. But as usual, and the link is in the comment. The link is in the description of this. You can subscribe to the Spearhead Presents podcast, and all the release stuff I'll put in there. All the other stuff, trust me, I'll be plugging it when it's coming out. And of course, mentioning all the names as we go along. Wicked, big up Dan, glad you like the new Ghetto Blaster top. I assume you've got yours. So yeah, there's a few new bits over at the Bandcamp page, which if you noticed in the description of this today, during the show today, you can get 25% off of the Spearhead Bandcamp page. I'll leave it up for an hour afterwards. So that's spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com. If you want to show some love to support the podcast, you know, this is I do this for fun. But if you want to support the label and the artists, just go over to spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com. Use the code at checkout, podcast June 6, and June 6 is in the number, not written out. And you can get 25% off as well. Happy days. Loads of new stuff there. Loads of pre-orders there. I'm going to let the second drop play. Lee, I did mean to play that dub plate they played last night on the Chemsa Instagram. Don't think I put it on here. My kids were crazing me for dinner for some lunch as I was trying to finalise the show today. But don't worry, I've got plenty more. So from something brand new to an absolute classic from about 12 years ago, this is called I'll Take You There. It's by Comics. Can't remember what label it came out on, but I will find it after the show. And if it's on Spotify, I'll put it in the playlist. I think it might have been Beta Recordings. Anyway, absolute classic comics. Check this. Are there any remixes I have of MJ Cole? I played one in another session before. Yeah, I've got the Sincere bootleg that Matt Logistics did about 11 years ago. But I got something as well on the MJ Cole vibe to play today. Absolute brand new exclusive. We'll get to that in a bit. Check this one. I'll Take You There from Comics. I will get my second screen, my second camera set back up again, hopefully for next week. I just had a few more issues trying to get this thing to work at all today. So sorry about that if you liked that one, so you can see what I'm doing on the controls. I promise it's all live. I was going to pick it up and show you, but I can't be bothered. It's a palaver. Anyway, I'm going to play you something. No red wine today, mate. No. I drove, it's like 2 minutes away from my house, the studio, but I drove here today because it was chucking it down with rain. Okay, loads of questions that I will get to. I've told the story about BCee on a previous podcast. You'll have to watch back, or I might tell you. Anyway, right, I'm going to tell you about this next track. The next track is called Morning Star. It features Philippa Hanna on vocals. Philippa also did Back to the Streets with me and a few other tracks. And we've got a brand new one as well with Philippa that me and Dave Ember have created that I'll play you in a bit. This version of Morning Star I'm going to play you, it's an absolute exclusive. I've had it for a couple of years. If you've heard me play live, you may have heard me play it. This is a remix by Spy. I mixed this down at Spy's studio in London, several years old now. He's been living in Bristol for a while. So he had all the stems for it, and one day out of the blue, he just sent me Morning Star Spy VIP. Unfortunately, I just also had, I mean, it was not unfortunately not unfortunate. Break had just remixed it. If I'd had the Spy one first, I'd have got Break to do a different track. Anyway, Morning Star, featuring Philippa Hanna, Spy VIP. Let's roll this one. No, it's definitely not vodka on the table. It is New Forest water. Except it's actually tap water with a bit of elderflower cordial. There you go. I have really been digging deep as well in the last few weeks because I don't mind playing some tracks over and over, the ones that are forthcoming and that you want to hear, but I'm really trying hard not to just give you the same show, so I'm glad it's been noticed. Thank you, Rob.
Got to
I've got so many new tunes today. Like, I don't really want to do too many requests because you obviously don't know about the new tunes. You can't request them, but I will note down all the requests and try and slip them in at some point. There's a "that's what she said" gag there. I've been watching too much of The Office. So I will play Our Time if I can, if I get Our Time. Oh, Rob, I've got that Crazy Love vinyl, obviously. Big up, man. Thank you very much. Yes, sending love to Malachi over in St Kilda, Melbourne. The last place I managed to travel to before getting stuck here. May as well, if you're going to travel before getting stuck somewhere, may as well make it the other side of the world. But I'm absolutely gutted that you guys can't make it over here this year, though. Hopefully by next summer, and I will make up for it. This one then is Halogenics. It's on his new EP. This one's called Reminisce, and it's out now on Critical, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like I say, I'll double check, put it in the playlist at the end of the show. Really look in the mirror that much, not like for prolonged periods of time. So when I do this podcast every week, I can see 4 of me to check all the streams are working. Like, I realise what this lockdown is doing, but I quite like it. And luckily, Andy, look at that bit. Oh dear, I've got to stop doing my hair. I forget you can all see me. Anyway, luckily Andy is liking this grey beard vibe. I might get one of them top knots and a beard bun like Everwood. He's inspired me. And I don't intend to shave or cut my hair until I can play a live gig again. So there's room for it to go yet. I'm not going to dye it either.
So many sweet time, baby.
Right, so that was Halogenics from his latest EP on Critical. And I'm pressing the wrong buttons, hang on. And I'm going to play you another brand new track, which is a collaboration with me and Ember, aka Dave, not the channel. This one features Philippa Hanna. She's back once again, brand new track. This is called Galaxy. I started my mix with Tempsa with this. I'll tell you more in a minute.
Underneath the galaxy tonight, I can hear a symphony of souls. See the shadows dying in the light, breathing in a supernova glow, throwing every sorrow to the ground, chasing every new tomorrow down. Time and space are ours for taking now. We just need to look for the meaning, look for the meaning, and find what you're seeking. There's an ocean between us, but we'll find the meaning. Look for the meaning, find what you're seeking. There's an ocean between us, but we'll find the meaning.
Yes, it's called Galaxy. It's by me, Philippa Hanna and Ember. And it will be out next month on Spearhead Records. Before that, he's got a debut track coming out later this month. Ember's first solo piece featuring DRS. I'll play that in a minute too.
Everything is beautiful in this life. Something like the symphony of new life. I will find the meaning in my own time. My own time.
I've seen a few mentions today of
To look
By the Beard of Zeus. Anchorman is probably one of my favourite films. You can tell where my intellect lies.
There's an ocean between us, but we'll find the meaning. Look for the meaning, find what you're seeking. There's an ocean between us, but we'll find the meaning.
this one finally came out last week. In the Moment, me, Charlotte and Temps. And the second single from our album, by the way, will be out next Friday. It's a little bit lighter, featuring Everwood. The pre-save link's in the description of this. So you haven't got to wait very long for single number 2. I'm thinking of getting this track remixed. Have you got any ideas who you think would be good to remix this? I might ignore them all, but let me know and I'll see what I think. In the Moment, let's go. Okay, I got to admit, I forgot where the vocal came in. It was all going so well. Anyway, a little blast of In the Moment, because you can just stream that now. This is the third out of 4 Ember singles that are coming up very, very soon. This is out in a couple of weeks. This is called Move Steady, and it features DRS. It's out on the 26th of this month on Spearhead Records.
I moved heaven forever while we're into soul. While I feel myself become the things that you despise, like a nightmare reoccurring but with open eyes. I know everything you're planning, but I act surprised. We're too busy shouting when it's action time. While I feel myself become the things that you despise, like a nightmare reoccurring but with open eyes. I know everything you're planning, but I act surprised. We're too busy shouting when it's action time. Too heavy. We keep searching and learning. Too heavy, move steady, while I'm learning to fall. I moved heaven forever, while we're yearning to soar. We keep searching and learning, while we race against the sun. I moved heaven forever, while we're yearning to soar and learning.
I just had a text from Andy to say that, as in my wife Andy, to say that our dog is snoring so loud that my daughter thought it was thundering. That explains why. I mean, that explains why I'm tired, because the flipping thing kept waking me up all night. I do love my Bidigan though. Everyone needs a poodle in their life. Okay, that one then, it's called Move Steady. It's out on the 26th of June on Spearhead Records. Right, one of the questions that's kept coming up over the last few weeks has been about, like, where do I get my influences, what tracks got me into drum and bass, etc, etc. So for years I just used to try and make and play all different types of music. It just so happened that people started actually picking up and wanting to sign some drum and bass, and it went from there. So I'm going to play you a track now. It's by Carlito. I think it's Carlito on his own. It might be Carlito and Addiction. It's definitely Carlito anyway. This was on Beta Recordings, which was John B's label. It must have come out in about 2013, and it's called So Liquid. And this is a track that I heard, and it sounds a bit dated now, but it's a track that I heard, and it really made me think, what is this? You know, I'd heard kind of jungle stuff, I'd heard book and playing stuff, some deeper rolling stuff. This is the first track that really, I would say, where I thought, liquid, you know, it's kind of liquid drum and bass, whatever. Anyway, massive influence on the BCee sound. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't. So Liquid, check it out. I won't play all of this because it's like 7 minutes long. Realised as well that this has got 2 breakdowns in it. Tunes just don't do that anymore. Kind of like that though. See Sally getting a mention again, my mannequin in the background there. I did say to my girls 1 week during this podcast I need to put a camera higher and then have one of them just like crawl along the floor and manoeuvre her up behind me during the podcast and see if anybody kind of warns me like a horror film. I've kind of ruined it by telling you now, but it could still happen. If it moves today, it really is happening, please warn me.
You make
Okay, I'm going to tell you a quick story that I probably shouldn't tell you. I don't know where to start with this. So Sally in the background behind me there. In fact, I'm going to show you this. Wait there. This happens. In fact, if any of you have seen the new reboot of Crystal Maze, it's a little bit like what Richard Ayoade always has to shake hands with the guests. Anyway, me and Andy had a lady come round to see us. We adopted both of our daughters. We had to do like a course and some counselling stuff and that before we did the adoption. We had a lady come round to see us, and she only had one hand, which is obviously fine. Except the first time she came round, Sally used to be in our hallway, and it was standing right in the doorway. And I hadn't noticed that one of the girls had pulled off one of the hands. And so I just suddenly, whilst I was talking to her, became very paranoid. It looked like, in a weird way, I'd made this thing deliberately only have one hand. And then I got really flustered in the conversation. Anyways, it's probably a story that should have stayed in my mind. But there you go. Big shout out. I'll replace Sally's hand later on. Have a little scratch. Oh, that's quite good, actually. There. Lovely stuff. Anyway, before it gets too weird, let's play the next track. I'm going to take this down, it's so flipping long. Right, this one's called DOND. It's forthcoming on my next Focus Records EP. You can pre-order the vinyl and the downloads of it from spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com. And yeah, I like this track. No vocals, just an instrumental, pretty funky. Pre-order it, get it in your life. By request, I will give Sally her hand back. She moves now, I will be straight out the window, and I'm on the first floor. Okay, something fairly new then from Hugh Hardy. This is from Hugh's 7 days, 7 tunes in 7 days EP. If you watch or follow his Instagram, you can see he just made 7 tunes in 7 days. It's pretty impressive, to be fair, because they're all pretty varied. This is day 1. This is called Back 4. Well, it says Back 4th on here. It's probably called Back and Forth, would make more sense. Either way, it's called Back 4th, day 1. Hugh Hardy, out now on Hospital. So as I may have mentioned, I've been working on an album with Charlotte Haining. We started off around Christmas time thinking that we would do like a 4-tracker, became a 5-tracker, let's become a 10-tracker, and a couple of remixes. So this week we finished the 10th and final BCee Charlotte Haining track for the album. I might play it in a little while. And to go with it, we thought we might as well just, we've done some other tracks. So we have put out requests to have a couple of the tracks or other tracks remixed to add to the album. And I'm going to play you the first remix. This is an absolute exclusive. Won't be out for a few months yet. Absolute exclusive. First play. It takes a little bit of getting used to because it's been sped up quite a lot. You'll know what I mean when you hear it. This is a remix by Matt Logistics. It's of a track called First Love, which started off as a garage track. Matt did such a fantastic remix of MJ Cole's Sincere, like I've been playing for about 10 years. Like I said to him, please, 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 will you do a remix of First Love? And he came up with this. There will be a gatefold vinyl. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a CD. Nobody seems to want CDs anymore, but there will be a vinyl with the download at the very least. And we're just kind of finalising artwork and stuff, and then we'll get that for pre-order straight away, because there'll only be about 300 of them pressed. So this is First Love, Logistics on the remix, and I like it. I mean, it does sound fast if you're used to the original, because it used to be at 130 BPM and it's now at 174. And I must admit, it did take me a couple of listens to think, oh, is this crazy? But if you know the words, you can just about sing it. And I flipping love it. I can't wait to play it in a club. Let's let it roll.
I know you want the same changes as me. You got a choice, what's meant to be. Relax, it's all worked out. I know you find it hard just to believe when you got no security, but hide away your doubts. Cause nobody's gonna go on and make that choice for you. No one can do what you do. Somebody's always gonna try raise their voice to you. But the thing is you can't lose. You gotta find what you love, do what you love. If you got love in your case, ask you to stay. Cause if you find what you love, do what you love, you'll always have love in your way. Every day, you gotta find what you love, do what you love. If you got love in your case, ask you to stay. Cause if you find what you love, do what you love, you'll always have love in your way. Every day.
So obviously when we start coming out of lockdown, which allegedly we have, but it's all a bit weird, isn't it? But anyway, it's very unlikely we're going to be able to do big club gatherings. I'd love to be able to do an album launch party for this. And I was thinking that if we're allowed to do gatherings of 50 or something small, right next to the studios is my village, is the village I live in's village hall. And I thought, if we can only do like a gathering of 50, I wonder if anybody would be up for a launch party in my village hall. So watch this space. Okay, I'm playing a track now called Gifted Lover. It features Leo Wood on vocals. This is by Willem and McLeod. It is out now. It kind of came out in a weird format. I'm not sure if it's there credited on it or not. Anyway, it was meant to come out on their album, the Playing the Changes album. It didn't. And the reason it didn't is because I was sitting in a church service and it was about to start and they were playing music on the PA. And I thought, hey, how have they got hold of this Willem and McLeod tune to play? This is not where I expected to hear it. And then I realised that they had just done an absolutely massive sample of a song that a lot of people knew. So decided, rather than get sued, we'd probably leave it off the album. Anyway, this is Gifted Lover featuring Leo Wood, and it is available to stream. I love the commitment that Oliver would travel from Switzerland to do this launch party. The only thing is, mate, you'd have to come at least 2 weeks before and then quarantine somewhere. Sucks, man. Who knows what the future holds, though, eh? And the fact that the sample from Tom Mishk, that's how you say it, has already been identified in 30 seconds, that's why it's not on their album. The Willem and McLeod album, if you mean when that one's out, it's already out. It's called Playing the Changes. It came out a year or so back. And there's several of them left just down there on the shelf. You can go and get one at spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com and use the code podcastjune6 and get 25% off. If you mean the BCee Charlotte Haining album, At the moment, it will be out in October. It's due for October 6th. That's because it takes a while to press the vinyl. It's being cut this Friday coming in just under a week. If we can get the physical copies sooner, we might release it in September, but it's probably going to be October 6th. But there are 3 singles coming out before then.
One day living free, the next we play at being proper. But now that Sunday is delayed because of our disarray. We're halfway in the dark.
This one is Air Shots featuring Ben Schemmel. It's called Air Shots. No, it isn't. It's called New Beginnings. And it is taken from the debut Air Shots EP, which is called Which Way. And it's out on Spearhead's sister label, Future Retro. Again, you can grab it at spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com. It's on there. Yeah, the Pickle Factory was absolutely fantastic. Did a 6-hour set at the Pickle Factory to launch Shouting About Nothing. And I have to say, as much as I loved it, I ate for like my back hurt for like 2 weeks. Didn't realise the damage it would do on my 43-year-old body. Wait till hopefully I'm still DJing at 80, so might have to take my chair and start doing it like that. I mean, if we did a launch party in the village hall, I don't know if it'd be financially viable or not, but who cares? I'd have to hire a system in. I'd get complaints from everybody in the village. We'd probably have to do it in the daytime. Do it in the daytime with a barbecue. That would work for me. How did I manage toilet breaks for a 6-hour set? Now, Tony Coleman claims when he does his 5-hour set, he doesn't go to toilet. He just doesn't drink at all. The geezer's not human. Pickle Factory, the decks are here. Just here is a door to the backstage, and just the other side of that door is a toilet. And I was drinking wine. I had about 8 toilet stops, and just played long tunes. And I did 1 hour of the hours was back to back. So I took advantage of that. Check this, Airshots New Beginnings. If you don't know this tune, get to know the whole Which Way EP is spot on.
No looking back, no looking back. The future's in front of us.
If you don't know Pickle Factory, it's a small club opposite Oval Space in London. I couldn't tell you exactly where, look it up. Sorry, I can't remember. Okay, into a really old one then. This is Danny Bird, He Who Dares. I think it featured Utah Jazz, and it came out on Hospital years ago. Love this vibe. Big up Faction. I see Faction tuned in. Mr. Faction, I was going to play all 5 tracks of your EP coming up because it came out yesterday. If you don't know, Faction's Chemistry EP came out yesterday. You can grab it at spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com or stream it anywhere you like. And it is absolutely sick. It's one of my favourite releases on the label for a while. I'm going to go and grab some water because I'm getting... Check this out, He Who Dares. What a sample. And what a name. He Who Dares, Rodney. So that last one was called He Who Dares by Danny Bird and Utah Jazz. And this is Spread Love, unreleased version, bootleg by Bop. That's what we need right now, peeps. I saw someone asking about this.
People around the world and me, oh yeah. I come to you with words of joy and cheer. Love's a message that I bring to you. And there's no reason to be mean and cruel.
There you go. Make your friend a nice relaxing cup of tea and put the world to rights. A cushion that Andy bought and then went out of some sort of fashion, so it was rejected to the office sofa. Well, you wanted it, and I was going to play my way through this EP today. I was going to do it earlier, I got carried away. This is Obsession. It features Rhea and Hugh Hardy. It's by Faction, and it's taken from the brand new Chemistry EP, which was out yesterday. Like I said, grab the download, spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com. Even if you use 25% discount, which I keep mentioning, I know, podcast June 6, then buying one download of this Faction track is like it getting streamed about 300 times with using the discount code. So if you want to show some love to Faction for this, just go, even though you can listen to it on Spotify, go and download it anyway. Let's let it play. Ugh. Absolute class. Just hopefully that's not the end of Faction on Spearhead, but just the beginning, because that's bad. If you don't know this one, it's Mirror Image. It's by Technimatic. It was out on the first ever Technimatic EP, which was on Spearhead, called Mirror Image, like this track. And this is the Faction 2020 remix, available on the Faction Chemistry EP, out right now. Where is the best gig I have played? I have to say New Zealand is always pretty special. I've only toured there twice, but it's pretty special. But I think my favourite ever gig was Hospitality on the Beach 2018, when I played the beach stage at about, I think I played like 9 till 10 p.m. just before Calibre and D-Bridge went back to back. The beach was absolutely heaving. My favourite MC, Tempsa, was on the mic. He knows all my tunes. And it was just magic, absolute magic. I was hoping to do it again this year. But hey-ho. So we will hopefully be back there at some point. Hospitality on the beach at the moment, as it stands, the entire festival has just moved a year later. So all being well, Spearhead Records will showcase the main stage next summer. If you've already got a ticket for that, they're carrying over. Technomatic also, this was bad timing, wasn't it, and bad planning. Anyway, I did what I could, but Technomatic had a brand new track out yesterday on UKF called Lakota. It features, who does it feature? It features someone called A Little Sound, and yeah, it's called Lakota. I'm guessing probably to do with the club. Rob Bonney, just by the way, you have commented here, we only have 55 heads. Last week we had nearly 200. The figures are now deceiving because I'm now using Restream.io to send out to all the channels. So each channel's actually separately. So anybody watching on YouTube or the 3 different places on Facebook, it only clocks up the number on the place you're watching. So don't worry, I'm quite happy if it was 55 people anyway, but there are about 240 people watching right now, which is crazy. So thank you very much and big up you lot. Right, I'm going to play you this brand new Technomatic track. It's out now. It's called Lakota, I guess to do with the club in Bristol, which sadly I hear is closing down. Sucks, huh? But this is wicked. Check this out.
Tell you from day dot that we still feel it, feel it, feel it. One night was all it took, and we still see it, see it, see it. I'm telling you now, we mean it. One night was all it
I mean, Technomatic hadn't released anything for a while. I don't know if this is a one-off on UKF or there's more coming. But whoa, pretty damn hot. I just noticed that Andy had sent me a text telling me off for telling you the hand story. I could tell it was a bad idea as I said it. She's going to have a censor button. That's all I can say. There you go. Anyway, this track is called BCee. It's by Willem and McLeod. Was it? It was on one of their EPs actually a while back. The original version features Heidi Vogel on vocals. This is my remix. And this remix is on Spearhead 100. There are, I just got back from the distributors this week, all the unsold stuff. I had run out of these. There are a few of these 4-pack vinyl sets left of Spearhead 100. A few people asked me why it's called 100. It was because it was the 100th physical release. I just had another message from Andy saying that Anya, my eldest daughter, is chastising me for using the word damn, which I've now said twice. I'm really sorry, Anya. One of you's going to have to come with me next week and sort me out. Anyway, buy this 4-pack vinyl, Spearhead Records, .bandcamp.com, and use the code and you get 25% off. That means one of them is free. BCee, Willem and McLeod, BCee remix featuring Heidi Vogel. I'm going to play you something brand new next. Okay, so somebody asked me what was my first gig and how old was I? I don't know if you mean DJing or what, but let me tell you a story. And that is this. When I was 15, I went to a venue called The Fridge in Brixton with a couple of friends of mine. My dad took us to a gig. The Fridge is now called Electric Brixton. And yeah, when I was 15, it was a lot rougher than Brixton is right now. And you know, it's been completely flipping bought up, hasn't it? But anyway, Went there when I was 15 to this gig, and it was a Christian rock band called Petra. And it was flipping great. I'd never been to like a massive sound system and everything else anymore. Anyway, a lot of years passed, and Spearhead Records hit its 10th anniversary. And we did a party called 10 Years of Spearhead Records. And the events company said to me, where would you like to do it? And one of the venues that was an option was Electric Brixton. Of course, the place where I'd been for my first ever gig. And I went in. We get to the night, we're doing all of that, and I went in and I went to the backstage, and they said to me, let me introduce you to the girl who is managing the backstage area tonight. And I kid you not, they said, this is Petra. How's that for kind of mad? And another little thing that I've never told anybody, and I'm now going to tell about 200 people. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. No, I'm not going to actually. You'll have to work it out. Anyway, that gig and Spearhead have a little something in common. That's all I'm going to tell you, because I'm going to play you a brand new track right now. This is the final track for the BCee Charlotte Haining album. It's called History. I don't think this one will be a single, because we've already kind of got the singles from the other ones. So it'll be out on the album. I mean, I think we finished pretty strong, if I do say so myself. I'm just talking over it because I don't want you to rip it yet. Someone asked about going from a sort of bedroom setup to a club. The hardest thing about mixing when you go to a bigger system, which you'd be amazed how many places the equipment don't work properly. Just going to let this drop. Yes, you get used to your own setup at home. You kind of know what it sounds like. You know your stuff works. Different venues, monitors don't work properly. I mean, good venues as well sometimes. Monitors don't work properly. You can hear stuff bouncing off the back. You've got someone trying to talk to you whilst you're DJing and trying to concentrate. Someone's leaning over with a beer. I've had many a drink spilt on mixers when I'm doing stuff, which is why I never use Serato. It takes some getting used to, but you do just kind of, you got to be prepared to just like make it work, whatever it's like. I've seen many DJs lose their crap because of stress and the club not working properly and just come across like idiots. Yeah. Anyway, this one's called Lime Rider. It's by me and it's one of the tracks on the forthcoming Focus EP, the Caught in a Trap EP. It's called Lime Rider as a dedication to my recent New Zealand Australia tour with Willem, Ria, AJ, that's Ria's husband, and Fred V and his girlfriend Joanne. And in New Zealand, particularly, we spent a few days in Christchurch, and you can hire Lime scooters to ride around on with an app, like little battery powered things. I think I spent more money on that trip on hiring these scooters than anywhere else, than anything else, because I knew we wouldn't be able to have them in England. It was great fun. Lime Rider. Sure, Rob, what the biggest attendances I've played to, but genuinely, but when you get over like a couple of hundred or more, you can't see the back anyway when the lights are on and everything else, and it kind of makes no difference. But you know, I played like at Let It Roll on the main stage there, quite an early set, but there was a lot of people there. But you are so far away, like the stage is so big, you're just so far away from the first person that there's absolutely zero connection. So don't get me wrong, it's great and it goes off. I think it's kind of probably built from the people that make heavier music than me. But I much prefer playing at places like Pickle Factory, where there's 200 people there, but all 200 people know all the tunes you're going to play. The sweat dripping off the ceiling in there's a bit rank, but it's our sweat. You wouldn't want that a minute with Corona, would you? Whew. Anyway, this one's called Con Gas. It's by the Vanguard Project. It's taken from the Cockroach Curry EP. There's some great names on that EP. I can't remember what they all are. I've got one over there. You can get this whole EP on vinyl still. Spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com. This one's called Con Gas. because I shared an apartment at Sun and Base with Mr. Tempser, and when you go there, there's we didn't have any supplies. So we went out. We thought we'd have a cup of coffee. We didn't have a kettle, so we thought we'd boil a saucepan of water, but we weren't sure if you could have the water there or not. So we popped out to get some water from the shop. We got back, got our coffee ready, poured the water into the saucepan, and realised we'd bought con gas, water with bubbles in. So yeah, we didn't have it. We didn't have it in the end. That coffee, cockroach curry on the cockroach curry EP as well. I think I've said before is named because our local Indian restaurant had a little bit of trouble with cockroach curries and was closed down for a while. I'm not sure if it's open again now or not. Funnily enough, I haven't been. My friend Gareth, who was listening earlier, said he'd still go. You can't beat the prices. So that one's called Con Gas, and it is out now by the Vanguard Project. Right, I'm going to play you a new one from Critical Dub, forthcoming on V. This is called Asking Too Much. It features a singing DRS. And I'm going for a wee. Too much information, probably. think DRS is getting better and better on the singing ones every time, man. So nice. There's no bars in this either, just singing. So like I said, this was coming out on V by Critical Dub. Critical with a Y in it somewhere.
I'm asking too much of your heart. Maybe I'm asking too much of your heart. But we just can't help ourselves once we start. No. I know I'm asking too much of your heart. Yeah.
Rob, best place to get tracks noticed. Yeah, that's it. No, not Dub with a Y. The Critical with a Y. I'll check in a minute. Best place to get tracks noticed. I mean, you just got to make tracks that are better than other ones and more vibey, and get them to labels like Hospital, who are always looking for new stuff. It's just got to be flipping good. I mean, you can get them to me too, but Hospital put out a lot more music. There you go, that's how it's spelled, Critical Dub, in the comments. Yeah. Right, we actually haven't got very long left today, so I'm going to try and squeeze a couple more in. I did intend to play you the whole of Factions EP, but you know what? You can stream it yourself. You've heard a couple that have come out. It's out right now, so you can get it. You can stream it. You can put it in your playlists. You can share it everywhere. I am going to play you the Faction remix of Let It Breathe, which is also out now. And there are some of these little beasts left. You can't tell on there actually, but look, 10 inches. They've got the Faction remix of Let It Breathe with Leo Wood and Willem McLeod on one side. It's got the whiny remix of Sincerely Yours with Leo Wood and me on the other. And you've got 1 hour and 10 minutes to go to spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com and use the code PODCASTJune6. And grab yourself a bargain. So this one's Let It Breathe. Faction on the remix. What a bad man. I'm going to play you one of my favourite Everwood tunes next.
So don't let me down, 'cause I shall.
Them two go so well together. This one, then, this is Lol Rain, Everwood on the controls. Trying to do too many things at once. Right, just realised what the time was. Wanted to play you a couple more before the end. So this will be the next single from me and Charlotte Haynen featuring Everwood. It's called A Little Bit Lighter. It's out next Friday. And if you go to the description of this, the YouTube one or Facebook, the pre-save link for Spotify, iTunes and stuff is in there. So, pre-save this if you can, or pre-order it on the Spearhead Bandcamp. You can get the discount today as well. So this is A Little Bit Lighter, featuring Everwood. And I finish with one more brand new one to finish. Well, massive thank you to everybody for joining me this afternoon. Goodness knows how many of these we've done now. If anybody does know, let me know, because I have totally lost track. But I absolutely love doing this on a Saturday afternoon. It's really good fun. I will dig deep again for next week, bring you some absolute classics, bring you some bits that have influenced me and some brand new stuff. Hopefully by next week, might even bring you some tracks that don't even exist yet. We shall see. But thanks very much for your time. This will be, the archive will be up on YouTube and the Spearhead pages. If you've been listening on my Steve Boise Jeffroy Facebook page and messaged me, I'm sorry, the messages from there aren't coming through. I'm not ignoring you on purpose. Anyway, one more and that's it. I'm going to play you something like I have played a few times, but it is still exclusive. There are absolutely no release plans at the moment for this track I'm about to play. It's the Leveler remix of Magic Words by me and Degs. And you can actually get hold of this. There are about 10 copies left to or maybe not even that actually. There's a handful of copies left on pre-order on spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com for the vinyl only BCee dubplate number 3. If you ordered BCee dubplate number 2, by the way, they all shipped yesterday. and number 3 will be out as soon as it arrives here. Big up Jimmy Doltz, I just saw that you're tuned in. It's a massive shout to you. Thanks so much for your support. Thanks everybody for your support. I love what Level has done with this. Level, an artist that's been around for a while, but has just really I don't know, he's hit some new magic of late. And he's done exactly what I wanted on this.
So many people have left our bed, and you're focused on settling us. You know that life is not the first in the game. So stay cool with bygone times. An obsession never heals the pain. Yeah, I've got links to friends of old. Sometimes your journeys start to split away. Hey. But they know that I got love, and they know that I got love. And they know that I got love. And they know that I got. And they know that I got. And they know that I got. And they know that I got.
Nice to see my top fan tuned in. You know who you are. What's this called again? It's Magic Words. It's by me. It was on Shouting About Nothing, and this is the Leveler remix featuring Degs. You can get it exclusively on vinyl, BCee, dubplate number 3, spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com.
Dance, we rock and we roll tonight. There's no care, we're celebrating more life. I've been on the haze by your core. Come back to mine if you're not sure. You make up the move, we like it right. You're smoother than smooth, but I'm back inside. You keep on going on my moyo. Sneak up from the party to my photo.
Well, that is about all we've got time for this week. As always, all being well, I will be back next Saturday. It seems to be a lot more stable now using Restream, so that's good. No boot offs, no threats to be booted off by copyright things. We are rolling. So yeah, I'll be back at 2 p.m. next Saturday. Spread the word, be kind to each other. And you've got 1 hour, spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com. Show some love, buy something, and I'll get it to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to subscribe to the playlist. I will update that now. What a tune. I'll let the end of this play. And then I'm out of here. See you next time.